Says we're live and loading videos. Says we're
All right, hello folks. Welcome to another episode of the Star Citizen Report. And you got Thamin here, over here. You got Memo.
evening, folks. We are doing back to the original two-man format, it looks like, this evening.
Yep. So everyone else got a day off, and this is one of our, this is kind of how it started. It was this screen, just me and you, Memo, chatting about Star Citizen. All right. I'd like to thank everyone that's joined up with us here in the live chat. Like I say, you can see us every other Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/grievance. Give you a little quick rundown of what we're going to be talking tonight. We've got the Starfare and its variant Gemini concept sales, so we're going to be talking a little more about Starfare and the Gemini. We've got, I was going to say 1.1.2 and the tutorial, but now we've already got 1.1.3 because they've already fixed a few things and just generally made a better experience there. So we'll go over that, as well as a big first-person shooter update, as well as other news from the verse.
The big first-person shooter update will actually be an update when it's out. I mean, I know they keep giving us more and more info, but come on already. We need something else to play. As the flight tutorial, I haven't been able to get into. I'm having some issues with corrupted data, which I'm sure anybody else that's had that issue can identify.
Yeah. And we're going to be showing some footage, too, from Grievance's own Demon Llama. He was in the tutorial. It was pretty entertaining watching him go through it, so we've got some funny clips from that. And again, I'm just going to put some of our info here for folks watching later on YouTube. And hope you all see us. You know, I kind of looked at our shows, and we've had a lot of shows recently going almost like a full hour. And I know that can be a lot for somebody to decide they're going to click on YouTube. But I have a justification for you. It'll take you more than an hour to look up all this news and all these facts in the nice condensed form that we're going to bring it to you today. And I know that because I looked up all this information. It took me more than an hour.
I'm glad Thamin does. On that note, I'm glad Thamin does all the research for this. I just kind of show up and add my sparkling commentary. And I'm a large fan of the game myself.
Yep. Both really looking forward to it and got new people asking about it every day.
Oh, so goes.
Like I say, if you're in the live chat here with us, don't be afraid to throw out questions and ask us pretty much anything about the game. You know, especially if you're new or something, you know, we can still give you a rundown of the basics and what got us so attracted, why it hit the Guinness World Book of Records for biggest like crowd fundraising thing. Wow. All right, so a few brief announcements before we get into the meat of the show. If you're Grievance and going to the get-together, yes, we have a big get-together as Grievance. On June 12th, Friday afternoon, that's when the Star Citizen crew is getting together for lunch, and it's going to be at Burke's Grill down there in the Atlanta area. So I appreciate if you let us know on the boards in the Star Citizen area or PM me if you're coming, how many people you're bringing so I can get a head count and get a reservation in. We need to do that ASAP.
Memo will be carless, so he'll need a ride from the big house. I think either Thamin or Deuce have that covered already.
Yep, we're going to get you there. And Eggy, if she happens to be in the channel right now, far as I know, she's going to be on her regular Don't Sleep, Won't Sleep tonight on this Grievance channel. She does it 8 p.m., so we're talking 2 hours from now. And I think she still has coming up where she's actually going to do a game giveaway. She was going to do it after our last show 2 weeks ago, but she was sick. So I believe that's going to be tonight. Yep, and there she is in the channel. Welcome, Maggie. So
welcome, Maggie.
Catch her at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so 2 hours from this point here. Also, we are looking for able-minded people who would be willing to become part-time editors for our GTGN site. Blogs, reviews, we need people doing them, and we need people editing them and kind of checking them before they go up on the site. It's been a big thing that Grievance added on this year. We'd love to have your participation. All right, and a few of the latest things to come off the Star Citizen press. There was the new patch, 1.1.3. It's going to be a tongue twister, and I keep saying these numbers and that. Should help also fix a lot of the latest matchmaking issues that we've been having with the game. Eggy qualified. It is a Steam game giveaway up to $20 value. So catch your show. I know I'm stepping back a bit. It's a great show. It's full of suspense. Oops, little camera problem there. It's full of suspense, and she makes it too where you can have a uh-oh. I am having a Skype issue. So I will see if we can get that fixed up here. Meanwhile, I'm just going to run some pictures while I'm trying to get this fixed up. Because we are doing the Star Fair. Sorry about that. So I'll show some pictures of you. The Star Fair and the Gemini variant came out. And it's on sale for a limited time until Monday, May 18th. Give me a second here. I apologize for the for a little problem with the show and trying to get Memo back here. That's going to be on for a limited time until May 18th. All right, we know the Star Fair is going to play a part in Squadron 42. In fact, they've quoted that it's had several seats added for its part in Squadron 42. We also know that the military variant here is coming with LTI. So we get to see lifetime insurance. It's going to have less cargo capacity and maneuverability than the original, but it does add armor, shielding, a bigger engine, and some more powerful 3-turret guns. Also know that you have the option to swap out the front fuel intake for a missile pod. All right, folks, again, thank you. I'm still trying to just kind of get a hold of Memo in the background here. It's not connecting, so I'm trying to go over a few things while taking care of that in the background. We know that the standard Star Fair is coming back for this limited time with 2-year insurance. And the Star Fair is still going to be the dedicated fuel platform, even collecting and refining its own fuel. It can be modified for cargo, and its refinery system switched out if you want to do another mission package. They did say, of course, you know, the Starfare, its number one role is still for like the fuel, but you can use it as a cargo ship and you can switch things out. Lumavox asking in chat if any of the resident hosts bought a Gemini. I did not. I would not be surprised if our Leah bought one just because he buys everything. And I'm pretty certain Memo has not either. I did kind of look at it, but I think I'm looking for a little smaller ship. I haven't been as much of the fan of the big multi-crewed ones. Let's see. See if I can just kind of fix this one more time here. All right. Well, hopefully I'll be flying solo the rest of the show. See if I can still get Memo back here. Like I say, for whatever reason, I'm just not reconnecting with him. I was kind of wondering if there was anybody out there who got a Starfare and maybe has decided to switch to the Gemini now. Okay. I'm going to go to some different pictures here because I am trying to get them back, and it's giving me problems since I am currently using the video cam. So I am going to drop out for a sec here. Going to give you some more of these pictures that we've been using as part of it. So a lot of information here on the inside of the Starfare and the inside of the Gemini. The Gemini, of course, like I say, it has less internal room, less overall cargo handling. It's the militarized version. All right. Sorry, I'm typing in chat now. Memo, you there? Now the cargo numbers that have been provided for the Starfare and the Gemini are both internal and external cargo capacities. Most of the cargo reduction on the Starfare Gemini is because of the changes to the internal area conversions. They did confirm that in-flight refueling can be in motion or stationary, but motion will be most difficult. I would obviously still like to see somebody try that, but I can be a fan of crashes too. And I think it's been great. What they've been doing is we've been doing Q&A posts ever since the Hull series. So now whenever they have a concept ship, they're going to do a Q&A post along with it. I think that's going to be a great addition to everything. So as folks, I mean, heck, we've had several, the sales still going on, and folks have had a chance to ask a lot of questions. While they still got the sale available. I think that's just kind of a great thing on behalf of Star Citizen and keeping in touch with its backers. Okay. Memo, I don't know if you're there. I cannot get a connection with Skype, so I'm just going to kind of fly solo here on the rest of this. Thanks, everybody, for your patience. Sorry about the problems we're having as far as the connection here. So I'm going to go further down the Q&A for these ships. They did increase the max crew to 7. Which is, and again, they reminded that's the number of crew that can fulfill a purpose or man a station. Oh, there we go. Hey, Memo, you back?
Maybe.
Hang on.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, you're probably not seeing my picture because my webcam is on me, so it might not be coming across Skype, but we can see you just fine here.
Okay.
All right. So welcome back, Memo. Well, still going down the Starfare here. We do know the All-Star Fair owners are going to have access to the VFG Industrial Hangar, which is the asteroid. And both models can land fully loaded on a planet. So, and that's unlike since some of those hulls could not.
I'm wondering how that's going to work out exactly. Landing like in that kind of configuration and being able to land on a planet. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and let's see. It does say they do expect fuel to be a serious support role in Star Citizen. There will be players and NPCs with Starfares serving the masses, and the importance of fuel will go up depending on the nature of the mission. So I think it'd be interesting too. You know, I was just mentioned a memo when Grievance did Arcade, and we have these huge trade runs, and now you think of, wouldn't that be great to have your hulls, your escorts, your Starfare, and make just a huge space convoy transporting stuff.
Have mobile tankers that can make gas along the way. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Big thing I'm looking forward to here.
I don't have a Starfare though, but every time with this newest update, it's making me want to get one. Seems like it'd be very versatile and be a good way to be able to make some coin.
Yeah, and definitely, like I say, has its role. Yeah, they were asking if you bought a Gemini by chance. Did you grab one?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Who do I look like, Arlia? I did not. No, I'm pretty well set with the ships I've got. Unless they can separate my constellation from the package. But my main ship's going to be the Reclaimer.
Yep. I'm definitely going to get one more ship, but I don't specifically have one in mind. It's got to be a different role.
Right.
I already have a fighter and a cargo ship. It's got to be something different.
Same here. I wouldn't mind picking up another ship, but I'll probably melt something to do it. So.
All right. So now we also have, like I say, Star Citizen 1.1.2 and 3 released, and it now comes with a flight tutorial. I don't know if anyone in the channel's had a chance to try that out.
I have not, but I've watched some of Demon Llama's videos. They're pretty entertaining.
Yeah, they got a lot of, they did release like a lot of interesting notes with it. Of course, stuff that I had to get down as well here. Added conversation system that allows NPCs to detect a character's location and initiate dialogue as you approach them. Added back-end functionality of game events where they can disable and enable specific ship controls and systems. That's pretty nice. So that's, I assume, mostly for like also story mode in Squadron 42, but I can see where that'll work too for weapons, you know, EMP grenades and such. Flown Wolf says taking off in the tutorial can be tricky. I agree. Why don't I? Oh, go ahead.
Is it trickier than landing, or do you usually blow up before you land?
It looks like there's not much room for the roof, and once you go through, I can show you the first part of Demon Llama's video, and it's on YouTube. Grievance member Demon Llama starts with one M in Demon, 2 M's in Llama, and I'll show you the first clip. Is just that, him trying to take off, skitter sideways to take off through another vertical shaft, which also has a door open when you get close. All right, let me play that here for a little bit.
Nice.
Oh God!
You're clear of the path.
That was really fast.
Okay, now straight forward onto the taxiway. If you need it, the tower should have lit up your path. Make sure you don't pitch or roll. It'll be tough to get back into proper alignment. Don't align yourself in the middle
He
of the
says don't
doors.
pitch a roll. That's the first thing I
Surprised
do.
how many crews forget that the cockpit is not the center of the ship. The tower will open the doors once you're lined up.
How do I know if it's above me? Oh God!
You're
No,
lined
don't
up.
do that. I don't hit nothing. I hit everything. Ow, God! Okay, back up. Just back up slowly. Stop moving. Just back up. Why are we rotating? Oh, because I'm holding the mouse. Okay, okay, we're good. Going up.
Hold.
There's a thing there. Whoa, whoa, I am so bad at this.
That's nice.
A little shaky, but
I can't imagine I would do any better. It's probably I probably wouldn't have been able to hold together that long.
rolling is a great way to orient your ship to fit through.
All right, so that's just a little sample, and I've got more clips from that show coming up here real quick because it is pretty good. Oh yeah, hey, welcome Demon Llama is in the channel. Yes, hadn't realized there was an indication hologram that shows you where the exit was or is. And yeah,
I still didn't see that.
It is when you look on the your radar. As you scoot over underneath the entrance, there is a rectangular section that'll show you your clearance. So you can kind of go by that to know that you're aligned with whatever might be above or below you. And that was just a recent thing. Yes, Eggy, those clips are off YouTube, and that's specifically off Demon Llama's channel. So again, Demon with 1 M, Llama with 2 M's. He's got his own channel, and he's a member of Grievance, and he was gracious enough to let him share some of that footage.
He's been with us for a while.
Also, like Flonos mentioned, his method of landing so far has been self-destruct, eject, and get in a new ship.
Yeah, that's how I land. Copycat.
Welcome to LTI in the verse.
Yes, LTI. He's telling us how it's not going to be a big deal, but for me, I think it's going to be a concern.
See, multiplayer free flight lobby party limit increased to 8. They've added indications on the holotable to help you identify stuff you're renting with REC. And UI messages explain reasons why a player may have been kicked back to the hangar, which hopefully they've mostly fixed, but helps them with all those bugs. Upon death, a notification will appear stating who killed you and with what weapon balance. Oh, with what weapon, sorry. Balance kind of snuck on there. So you can play Clue. Who killed you, where, and with what? Cap party size to 4 players for public games aside from Murray Cup racing. Multi-crew functionality. Passengers are killed when the pilot dies or disconnects to prevent characters from getting stuck. I'd say that's a little extreme.
Yeah, if you're on a ship and you're one of the crew and the pilot disconnects, the whole crew dies, I mean, that to me sounds like, you know, it should just switch to the next person who you've designated for the ship, but that to me also sounds a bit on the extreme side. Because, I mean, you're going to have buggy internet connections, DCs, and things like that.
Yeah. Let's see. And they've updated finding a public match so that the server now finds the best fit rather than just stopping at the first match it finds. I thought it was funny, though, too. There was a few fixes that were put in that I thought were amusing. Fixed an issue where shooting the gladiator with the pistol caused the hull skin to transition to its fully damaged state. I like that. It's like one bullet and stripped all the paint off. Fixed the M50's starboard wheel from briefly detaching itself from its strut when being deployed during landing.
Yeah, that would make it even harder. Well, actually, the way I landed probably wouldn't make any difference. When you splat, whether you have a wheel on or not isn't really a thing.
Okay. And fixed an issue where the player would be sunken into the pilot seat of the Freelancer Max. That could have been me. I've got a Freelancer Max. I'm glad I haven't tried to sit in the seat lately.
Interesting.
And then they go on to talk about the tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and just show another clip here. You got a lot of funny stuff there. And I'm going to kind of pull up the next section here. I haven't got into this yet. I really need to get in and try
I haven't
it
either.
out.
I've not been able to get in. I keep having that corrupted download thing. I'm download over and over and over. So
You
I
do.
might do a whole system reset.
Okay. Strafe. No, holy shit. I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. How do I sit down? Down. Ah, okay. I landed, I think. No, this isn't the landing pad, baby. Wow! Okay, so we're gonna locate the landing pad. Oh. Wait. I'm not... Ah, what is happening? I didn't do it. Stop.
Watch it, rookie.
I'm not doing nothing. I guess the game got tired of my shitty flying and was like, I'm just taking over. Yeah.
You can also use it to overpower your maneuvering thrusters in order to take tighter corners. You do have a limited amount that takes
Oh
time to
Goodness!
replenish,
Stop!
so don't go
Stop
nuts
spinning!
with it.
Whoa! This is pod racing! Oh my gosh! This is holy shit! Down, up, whoa! I made it! Yeah! Kind of black it out though.
Still with me, kid?
No!
Good job. You can disable G-Safe, but be warned. An unconscious pilot turns to a dead one pretty quick.
Words of wisdom. Okay. No, we can turn.
And he makes it
and
look so
up.
smooth and easy too.
This is terrifying. I haven't hit anything yet. I mean, during
He
this part of the
hasn't
segment.
spun around in a
No.
kind of circle or
Contact. Vandal pilot. Dead
done
ahead.
anything.
Yep. Yeah, I think you actually did do pretty good there. But a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
funny
pretty
moments.
impressive. I like that.
Man. And boy, on our local chat, we've got a little bank heist game, and Eggy soloed the bank. That never happens for me. All right. So I hope if anyone else there in the live channel has any more comments on if they got to try the tutorial and what they thought about it. It does look like it can be very helpful to finally give folks a good course in starting things out, although it looked like there was still some tough challenges there. All right. Got anything else on that before we go into the Star Marine and the first-person shooter update? Yeah, this is your comment, Eggy. All right. So, Star Marine and the first-person shooter. And, we're definitely looking forward to it. We can't wait till they get this thing
Yeah,
out there. And we
absolutely.
can
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm liking the updates that are coming out, but I know the version we're going to get to begin with will be pretty rough. But I'm prepared for that and ready. I want to get in there and see what they've done.
Yeah, and I hope everyone is. And they stress that too. This is, this is pre-alpha. Here we go. In fact, I've got a little paragraph here. CryEngine had never focused on a zero-G heavy game, so substantial effort has gone into developing that. I expect our first release will have many bugs, glitches, and things that just overall need polish to make a truly great game. But, folks, it's pre-alpha, and they have been listening to us, so there's a lot of stuff there we'll get to check out. I'm going to put some pictures up here because they're showing the armors that they now have for some of the Marines and the Outlaws. Some distinctive stuff here. Oh, sorry. There was some local chat, but there's a conversation going on Eggy and Dash there. Demon Llama.
I agree.
Definitely
I agree, Demon. That
Yep.
does sound like fun. Sounds like a nice, well-rounded game where you can play it the way you want. And if you need a break from space flight, you can always board his ship and kill some of your friends or non-friends.
Yeah. And one thing they're doing with the soldiers too, they're creating a new and exciting approach to allow citizens to express themselves with a customizable character system. Now, they still said we're not going to see that as much in Squadron 42. They can pick their gender and look, but, you know, you're in the Army, so they won't be able to customize their outfits, gear, etc. during that military assignment. And, of course, the next note is on the Marines and Outlaws, which I'm showing you here. They've undergone quite the extreme makeover.
Yes, they have. I agree. That's awesome.
Leaps and bounds there.
Or,
Go ahead.
As heavy a graphic game as Star Citizen's going to be, they really need to tweak these things so they're nice and sexy looking like that. I approve of the updates from just the cell shaded kind of Marine. Very nice.
All right. And let's see. I'm going to show some other random pictures from the first-person shooter. Now, they did say on Reverse the Verse, they confirmed that in the future there will be dual wielding, but not at release. I think some people would have mixed concepts on that. I figure, you know, they're still making aiming down the sights difficult enough that hopefully, yes, people aren't just going to think dual wielding is just going to be, you know, spray and knock down everything in front of you.
Well, you know, I'm going for whatever weapon's closest to a shotgun because that's pretty much my favorite weapon in any FPS game, you know, especially with close quarters like this. You can do a lot of damage with a shotgun and be the one that walks away. I'm not a big pistol fan or sniper rifle fan.
And it sounds like they're coming out with quite a variety of weapons. I mean, heck, when you even figure they can put little hologram soldiers in places and EMP grenades and stuff. Sounds like they're really thinking outside the box to create something nice here.
Yep, I agree.
All right. And again, they did say the matchmaking system is getting redone, so hopefully will cause less frustration here. They've already released some patches that will hopefully alleviate that. All right. And so to go on the next thing they got here is Sadaball. And just to clarify, I have to jump around my notes a bit. Here we go. 10 from the producers, Travis Day. First-person shooter will be multiplayer only at release. Elimination, which is 8 versus 8. And Sadaball, which is 16 versus 16. As Squadron 42 approaches, there will be a first-person shooter game modes for solo and cooperatively versus AI. So we are going to eventually see a first-person shooter swarm mode, which is great too.
That's good. That means you can practice against AI and then get out there and kind of like almost like a campaign mode on it, to where you can get out there and then, you know, fight in groups. Interested to see what the matchmaking is going to be like on that, or if you can go into squads.
Hollywood Flonal says dual wielding chain guns will not be a viable strategy.
Well, yeah, thankfully, I mean, who wants to go up against someone with that has 2 chain guns? I mean, pretty much you even dual wielding, you use one till it's out, use the other one, reload, use one till it's out. I mean, yeah, that's good.
All right. And you know, with Whooping You and Arlia not here, lose the impact, what I was going to say, because I want to get everyone on camera and say, you know, forget the ships we've all bought. Forget it. Sadaball is it. I want Grievance to just have an awesome Sadaball team. We don't need to fly anywhere.
No, and Whoop would agree with me on that. He would say, boo. Now, Arlia, I'm not sure what he'd say on that, but I can guarantee you Whoop would agree with me on boo.
All right, giving a little slideshow on the Sadaball Arena. Now, they have, well, during the PAX demo, they said they realized the players were having trouble seeing the edges of the cover objects placed within the Astro Arena. So to address it, they added varied lights to the edge of each piece and gave them a solid glow and light to reflect the side of the arena that the piece is on. So they are helping folks as far as navigate that arena better. They've definitely given it a much nicer look, really updated it. They have the rules here. Rules of Sadaball. 2 teams spawn in at opposite sides of the zero-gravity Astro Arena. The Sada ball spawns in the center. Both teams must race towards the ball to gain control of it. Sorry, I was clicking some buttons here. To gain control of it using their legs and arms for movement, as well as you have a grappling hook device attached to the sidearm. Now, players can disable their enemies for a short period of time by shooting them, but they can't actually kill them. It's only a temporary stun effect. Now, when a player reaches or grapples the SATA ball towards themselves, they can interact with it to grab it. Now, the player who currently has possession of the ball is lit up so they are easy to spot by both their own team and the enemy team. As the ball carrier, you cannot fire your sidearm, but you can pass, shoot, or drop the ball. Players pass the ball back and forth while avoiding enemy fire until they are able to shoot the ball through the enemy gate at their spawn. Once a point is scored, the round is over and the game resets. A full match consists of 7 rounds. So I thought that was also just a really good rundown of the rules and such. It'll be interesting, but I do think like 16 people, well, I guess, let's see, 16 versus 16? Wow, that can make for a crowded field.
Lots of targets of opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Pardon me there. But all in all, a fun game. I mean, heck, this is just all some of the variety the Star Citizen gives us. You know, you got the spacecraft dogfighting, you got the first-person shooter, and you got a sports game with this detail of it.
Yeah, seems like a lot of variety. Well, you know, a lot of us have been following along since the beginning, or enjoying seeing how all this is meshing together. Me particularly, because as the games have come and gone over the last 2 years, Star Citizen's been kind of a constant, and every new little bit of info they come out with, I just devour pretty much.
Okay. And it's worth mentioning again, Lone Wolf Mine, they drew much of their Zero-G gameplay initially from the Ender's Game Battle Room. And that could be. I do remember that there was a lot of rules that they kind of had fans vote on. But I think Ender's Game was around at that time too, so it could easily have kind of given that influence. All right.
Very good.
Kind of further going down my notes here. Oh, we've reached $82 million in the fundraising. Wow. I think if anyone, a lot of participation in the live chat tonight. Again, thank you all for joining us. You got any more questions? Feel free. Let's see. Eggy was asking, that was the FF10 ball game, right? And Kiki Barista saying right.
That point you have coming up on the new Flare series, man. I'm not saying that. Because the way that looks spelled to me is not good.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain. I'm trying to figure out how they said
Let's not pronounce that.
I'll just say it's a piece of Ellis which was destroyed by its moon.
There you go.
All right, so you get a chunk of asteroid rock as part of your flare in the hangars. All right. So other than that, Ilphonic working on streamlining the development to include more players in a match. Right now, there's a lot of destructible environment, which can also cause more lag. Still good news. A lot of destructible environment inside. They fixed the tutorial in places from some of the feedback they had. They slowed the movement in the hangar. We kind of saw firsthand Demon Llama trying to scoot out of the hangar. Things move fast. Player looks toward the proper ship when the NPC directs him. So when he's directing you to a ship, you glance at it to know where you're going. And a barrel roll is now an axle roll. I don't know what the difference is on that one, but it made the notes.
Those seem kind of like the same thing. Barrel and axle. And you'd be spinning on who knows? I mean, I can try and get in there and see what the difference is, but I don't know if my flights go that long.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, here they introduced a new game to us, Hyper Vanguard Force. And I think, again, another fun addition to it. I can see people complaining. Anytime, the developers come up with this and they're like, but we want the regular game. You know what? I can still see this being as part of game within a game fun. This is some fun stuff to kind of see them put in the game. Let me get a little click at it here. I've got the volume kind of low on what we're looking, but we're looking at part of Around the Verse where they're showing some things about it.
And do pixel art because I like it. And at some point I'm like, hey, I'm going to try and take my two passions right now.
I did a hand for it too. They didn't really say how you start the game.
And I did this,
and I guess you're just supposed to mouse click on the center of the screen. But depending on, I don't know, whether I had full screen or whatever, it wasn't working for me at first, so I had a little trouble getting in.
Do a game with that. That would be quite nice. So we kind of decided
I did see a lot of high scores on that game.
Because that's Star Citizen.
Where do you get into that at?
Oh, it's on their website right now. If folks go to the com links, look at all, they'll be able to get into the game.
They were thinking about,
they're gonna.
for Star Citizen. I was like, yeah, that sounds
they
great.
did say
like a nice version of Galaga there almost.
It does very much. Yep.
I was looking forward to some.
It's too bad the ship can only fire forward, but you'll get some threats coming at from behind too.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you to Dave and Christine for talking to us today and giving us.
I'm going to pause that for a moment and go a little further down here. Now, like I say, I did kind of look. They did say that all these mini games they got are going to. They're going to find their own spot on the website, so that at least we can all find them in one space. And Memo, I think you'll like this. They had. They were talking about redesigning the Constellation.
Yeah, and on that note, I know we were talking about this before we started. I've seriously been thinking about upgrading to the exploration model of the Constellation, but any redesign would be very, very cool.
Mm-hmm. They did say the update had 3 things in mind. The overall more detailed and functional, such as adding a bulkhead between the cockpit and the living quarters. A weapon rack and a missile loading system in the cargo area. The second thing was having it more in line with the RSI feel and design. Because, of course, each of these companies, each of these are like coming up with their own feel and such now, too. The third thing was making it more compatible with the modular system. Geeky Briska, just realized you had the deep buff background. We did. This was the original screen. We were down to just 2 of us tonight all of a sudden, and I had to pull the mothballs off of this wallpaper and get it going.
Yeah, that's the original screen.
Yep. Oh. Here we go. Gratuitous buggy crash pick from Arlea's hangar. I'll take that off soon, but it's just still too good to repeat. Too bad I couldn't be here tonight. All right. So we only had a few things. Folks, if you got any questions, anything you want to throw out, we're getting toward the end of the show. We've got just a few more things to cover, but we're glad to help answer any questions you might have. And again, for those folks that might have joined us that are going to Grievances, specifically the Star Citizen lunch at the Grievance get-together on Friday, it's at Burke's Grill. Let me know you're coming so I can get a head count and get the reservation in.
I'll be there.
Hey. So, before the Persistent Universe releases, they also are going to have maps that include both spaceflight and ground FPS. And that's going to be in the Arena version 3.0. There is going to be a game called Capture the Idris. 2 teams of fighters / boarding ships fight over the Idris. So, going to have fun with that.
Sounds pretty good.
Yep. Looking forward to trying that one out. object interactions in first-person shooter. They already discussed things are very destructible. You can throw an EMP grenade into a room, watches the blast wave, shuts off lights, and makes screens go dark, also darkening the room. They also have things called pulse concussion grenades, which will just push things away from a point of impact, which they say is really effective in 0G.
I would imagine.
Ah. And also got, let's see, maps. Their current game maps are designed for one game mode. They don't easily translate to others. So it tries to balance their choke points with options on attack lanes. They want to give players a few options. I think this even goes back to where they talked about boarding a ship. You could have a few different places you could board the ship.
That's good. Variety is what keeps those kind of games fresh. If you recycle the same map over and over for every mode, that gets kind of dull quick, especially with FPS.
Yeah. And yep, welcome Vanquish G3. Welcome to the chat. Welcome joining us here. Let's see. And well, the last thing was kind of what we kind of touched on earlier, where they're rebuilding the matchmaking and the cloud infrastructure to hopefully help handle the big release of Star Marine better. Yeah. Yeah,
that's going to be major. I hope it goes smooth for them, because it looks good when it goes smooth.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to Star Marine, and yet I just know it's going to be crowded. It's going to be crazy. We're going to see our issue of server problems and bugs. What do you think, Memo? Anything else I'm not covering here that you'd like to chat about more?
Everybody remember, tomorrow night we do have a grievance council meeting. I'm hoping to see lots of people come to the get-together so I can meet new people, see some old friends like Thamin again, and Arlia, and Whoop, of course. Come join us for lunch. And that's all I got, Thamin.
All right. Yeah, again, thanks all for joining us. As a reminder, we'll have our next show on May 30th, but then the next show after that would be during the weekend of the big get-together. So there won't be a Star Citizen show on, that's got to be June 13th. Calendar's not in front of me, but whatever that Saturday is. But that whole Saturday, we're going to have cameras rolling. Going to see the grievance folks getting together. It's a good chance for even outsiders going to pop in, check us out, see if it might be a good fit for us. All right. And Eggy going to the get-together. Looking forward to seeing you there.
That's awesome.
As everybody else here. All right. Well, again, thank you for everybody for joining us for another episode of the Star Citizen Report. It gets really hard to pack in all the information they're coming out with. They're so friendly to the community, and they come out with so much stuff, and then we're like trying to pack it into the show here for you. All right. So I think with this, it'll be time to say our goodbyes.
Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Yep. Thank you, and we'll see y'all in the verse.